We want to speak to the political leader.
Thank you.
Honorable Cummings, welcome to the media.
How was it today?
No comment. Honorable Cummings, welcome to the media. Welcome to Focus on Liberia.
Okay, they said they will speak.
Well, Mr. Cummings is embarking his official vehicle, folks. We're trying to talk to him, but it's not possible. And he has refused to speak to the media. I'm told he will do that subsequently, maybe through a press conference. And so we're being barricaded. And so that's it, folks. We'll see whether we can talk to Ambassador Joe Boakai as well. But the ANC political leader has left the premises of the Monrovia City Court. We're still watching, we're still following it. We are posted right before the main entrance of the Monrovia City Court. Welcome if you're just joining us. This is Focus on Liberia, all on television.
Well, yes, the cross-examination continues today. I'm very glad that we are making progress, substantial progress in terms of bringing into question the credibility of the former Vice President. And I think we are progressing very well. We could not end today, we will continue. We will have to continue on the cross-examination to rigorously cross-examine him until we get to the bottom of this. I told you, the truth crushed to the ground will rise. And that's our theory. That's exactly what we are moving at.
There were a lot of objections being posed to your questions and also sustained objections.
Yes, that's a process. It's not every question you actually expect to get a response, all right? But the key questions that were asked and our answer that demonstrate contradiction and show and expose his credibility, that's exactly what we were aiming at, and I think we will see today. We will continue in our respect.
Councillor Silla, you asked a number of questions, and looking at how many were objected to and sustained by the judge, is there a question about the questions you're asking? Are they not? Because some were sustained on administrative reasons, some were sustained on the fact that it's not what the witness is to give evidence to. Was it a strategic thing you were doing, or those questions were just being objected to based on how you asked them?
Let me tell you, when you are at the lower court, you establish the record for a review court. So the questions he asked, most of them were relevant, they were germane, all right, to our theory. The judge sustained the objection, it remains on the record for a review court to look at it. Those that we asked, and we are comfortable with our answers, they gave us the kind of answer we require. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Silla there. Speaking of the media, let's try to speak to Councillor Serena Cephas, Liberia Solicitor General. Welcome to the media, Honorable Cephas.
The Vice President testified and answered all the questions that were very germane to the prosecution case. The trial is ongoing. We appreciate the level of civility and the environment, the peaceful environment that is subsisting here today. Let me of the Republic of Liberia, and you have judicial people okay. On behalf of the state, we are impressed. We least anticipated his performance. He was up to the task. The environment was calm. He was very calm. He took questions. We saw the defense team running all over the place with questions. So some of the questions were thrown out. I think they asked pretty close to 45 questions, only 39 out of the 45, 39 were thrown out, and I think 26 were answered by the women because most of the questions were irrelevant in material. This case, for us, we have done extremely well. We will continue to engage the court. The matter is suspended for now. We have to make assignment for the hearing of this matter. So thank you very much.
When that assignment is expected, Honorable Solicitor General?
I will come to the court tomorrow morning to make the assignment.
Mr. SG, there is an accusation that your objections being raised and sustained by the judge is a deliberate fraud so as to get the witness not to answer those questions.
You need to, anybody who raises that, that person needs to read the law. It's a part of the trial process and procedure. So it's not deliberate. For example, if you ask the mayor, why will you ask the former constitutional vice president whether he approved every decision in the chat room? Anybody can write in the chat room. I mean, that is irrelevant material. You ask the former constitutional vice president whether you would love to see people drinking coconut water. You want that kind of question you can answer.
As per your expectation, this testimony, is it going the way of the state?
It's very much great. In fact, it helping the prosecution.
And you're optimistic?
Are you still prepared, or do you still have the institution that you said the government has to identify if Mr. Cummings is found guilty to do and finish community service?
Well, we haven't reached that level yet. You know, the last time when I said...
Well, you made a pronouncement earlier.
People saw it as quite inflammatory. I don't want to go that route.
Is there something that you want to see happen? People don't want to go that route, but do you want Mr. Cummings to put the ambassador or to go to a school and teach the ethics of
So now your whole language is teaching.
No, it's not changing. It's changing. At a certain phase of the trial, I will determine the scope and direction of this case. And I'm weighing the evidence, I'm producing the evidence in court. Somebody asked me today and said, have you given the evidence? I'm producing the evidence in court.
For how long?
Well, I had a total of 34 witnesses, but I may dispense with some.
So why did you even consider in the first place, Mr. Solicitor General, Mr. Cummings not spending time in Ambas for 12 to 24 months rather than going to
the role of the prosecutor is not necessarily to convict. It's to ensure that justice is served. And under our principle of law, acquittal is also justice. Do you agree with that? So let's assume that at the end of everything that Mr. Cummings is acquitted, or the state decide to enter, for example, to abort the trial for some reason, for some manifest necessity.
Abort now?
I say assuming without a meeting, that in itself is still a form of justice in itself. But as we're proceeding now, the evidence, I'm glad. Gentlemen, I'm really glad.
You are no more in a serial mode.
No, I'm
like
very
the way you used to be from the genesis of this case.
I'm so excited that the woman, the witness was so calm. He's so intelligent. That's the kind of witness we need to produce in the trial. You know, he's a former constitutional vice president. Everybody agrees with
the school in question. Is it in Monrovia or here?
Well, where I wanted Mr. Cummings to teach. Well, I'm not. I think I'm trying to have a second thought on that.
So you want him now to go to prison?
No, I'm still producing evidence anyway. But if it means it reaches a point, even if we get a conviction here, that is not the end of the road. Mr. Cummings will appeal the conviction to the circuit court.
Why if this entire matter?
Of the conviction, Mr. Cummings can appeal to the Supreme Court.
Honorable Sifa, why if this entire matter turn around? Why if it goes the other way around? What would be your position then?
Get involved in the case and it turn around.
So you know this is ironclad, this is bulletproof.
Whenever I come to court, whenever you see the Solicitor General is in court, celebrate because there's a winning case.
Honorable Sifa, my last question to you. If you were to pick a county for the school, will you pick Montserrado or Maryland? Which county would you pick for Mr. Cummings to do?
All the political subdivisions are part of the Republic of Liberia. What do you think? Cape Town will be better?
I'm asking which country would you pick?
Which country are you from?
The voice of Councillor Sima Serena Cephas, Liberia Solicitor General there, taking some questions from journalists regarding the cross-examination. Folks, you are watching Focus on Liberia online television, and of course, my name is Theo Williams. We stay here at the grounds of the Temple of Justice in Monrovia, We were here earlier this morning since 8 o'clock. And according to my own official time, it's 10, 11, 12 minutes past 2 o'clock. And cross-examination has ended. We could not talk to Mr. Cummins. We could not also talk to former Vice President Joe Boakai. They were hurriedly taken into their vehicles. And so there goes the Solicitor General, Councillor Cephas. And so this tells you that it's all over. This tells you that it's all over. It tells you that it's all over. According to Councillor Cephas, there will be another assignment, but he was not specific as to when would be that assignment. But we're keeping our eye on this case because I told you earlier on, this case is of essence, and so we'll follow up to bring you out of the detail and ensure that it reaches its logical conclusion. So this is how it looks like. This is the grounds of the Temple of Justice. Let me back off a little bit so that you can have a clear glance. This is how it looks like. State security are all still posted. In case of any eventuality, they are still posted in their riot regalia. Still posted. So those of you watching, share the video so that others can have the opportunity to see what is happening here today. And so it's all over now. State security forces are about to leave the premises of the Temple of Justice. They were here early this morning. I arrived here at 8 o'clock sharp and they were already posted. And so I'm sure they're about to leave the premises of the Temple of Justice. Did they take instruction from the commander? Sorry, I can't pick it up from there, so let me leave it at that. But let me just drill you through this facility. Let me just drill you through this facility. This is the Temple of Justice in Monrovia. And we've been here early this morning making sure to provide the needed coverage for you, our many viewers, so that you know exactly what is happening back home. Those of you away, those of you in Liberia and other parts adjacent, we want to say welcome, share the video, and keep following Focus on Liberia online television for all of the breaking news, all of those major issues, all of those trending issues back home. Keep following Focus on Liberia online television. And of course, we are still here. Perhaps we want to talk to maybe one or two lawyers. Let's see what we can talk to one or two lawyers. And also want to talk to some judicial reporters who follow these proceedings up to present to give us their own perspective regarding the entire matter. And so we'll do that. Just rest assured, keep watching, keep following Focus on Liberia online television. Share the video. Don't forget to share the video. Share the video as many times as you can so that others can see what's happening here today. We've been here since morning and we're still here. It's about 2 o'clock in Monrovia. And so this is what we love to do best, informing you, our many valuable viewers across the globe. So rest assured, we will do all we can to keep updating you. Never mind for the little distraction, never mind for the shaking you're experiencing. I'm trying to position my tripod. And so it's all over from the Temple of Justice in Monrovia, folks. You see bystanders, you see some employees of the Temple of Justice, you see journalists, state security forces. We're all present here this morning. And so it's all over now. But we stay here, perhaps we could talk to some individuals, prominent individuals to get their perspective as far as this entire proceeding is concerned. So keep watching. Focus on Liberia online television. Very shortly I will be joined by my professional colleague and an experienced judicial reporter. The man has been covering this judiciary for a little over 10 to 15 years now. So he's got the wealth of experience when it comes to judicial reporting. And so Pinas Mola will come on camera very shortly to bring us up to speed. This is the man I'm talking about. He's here wearing a very nice black coat with a white shirt and a necktie, brown shoes to match. He will come here very shortly to provide some judicial insight. He's not a lawyer though, but he's been around the judiciary for a couple of years now. And he has the requisite qualification and experience as a judicial reporter, so he will bring us up to speed. He's one person who's been following this case as well. And so he will provide some analysis. He will give you his own perspective as far as this case is concerned. So we'll talk to Pinas Mobile very shortly. Well, let's keep twisting and turning. Let's keep twisting and turning so that you be able to see what's happening here today. View from all angles of this Temple of Justice. This is the city court. This is where the cross-examination was hosted. Today is day 2. And subsequently, a date will be announced to the public, and as soon as we get that, we will come back here to provide you more coverage as far as this trial is concerned. We listen to Councillor Serena Sifos, we listen to Councillor Aloysius too, and some other major parties listen to Liberians as well, giving you their own take about this trial. And so we will always provide the needed information you need. You can rely on us. Focus on Liberia. We go places where others can afford to reach. And we are here to give you all of the best in one package. So I'm being joined by Pinas Oba. Pinas is an experienced judicial reporter. He's been around this facility for a couple of years now. And so he's one person who has been following the case and other cases at this court. And so he will bring us up to speed, perhaps provide his own, analysis or provide his own perspective of the trial or the ongoing proceedings. Pinas, welcome to Focus on Liberia Online Television. The pleasure is mine to have you on this afternoon.
So I'd like to say thank you for the invite, and it's my pleasure to be on Focus Liberia Online TV. So it is, as a matter of fact, this is my debut, my first time, and I'm happy to be on your platform to share information regarding the court.
Well, you were here as early as 8 o'clock this morning. Tell us, you've been following this legal proceeding from the onset to present, and you've been around as a seasoned judicial reporter. Let's know, what have you been gathering as far as this case is concerned?
So the case is on. Today we just came out of this hearing where the former constituted Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, the President of Joseph Boakai, spent his second day on the witness stand testifying to whatever he knows about the case. So today the case ended around 2 o'clock. It started at 11 o'clock. So we spent 3 hours testifying. Today the defense team continued
cross-examination of the former vice president, and there were a lot of interesting things that took place in the court. At a certain point in time, because this case is a very big case, this case has generated a lot of interest from both locally and internationally. Firstly, because of the character involved. As a matter of fact, the crime itself is not a very big crime. It's not a capital offense or state offense. And it is misdemeanor on our law, what we call lesser offense, fraudulent. But because of the individuals involved, and if you look at the former vice president of the Republic of Liberia coming to testify, so it suggests to you in this gathering that the important person in society makes move. So you look at the legs of Alexander Cummings, you look at Bennett and Ure. So these are people who want to take state power. So when they are involved with cases and things, obviously you know that it will attract a lot of attention, and that's why they happen. So quickly back to what happened today in the courts. And today, Joseph Boakai took the witness stand. He was cross-examined by the defense team. Like I said, the case was so healthy. At a certain point in time, the judge had to cut the case for a 2-minute recess break so that the defense team can better put their acts together so that they can be able to ask questions, because the judge observed that there were too many repeated questions. And
on the part of whom?
On the part of the defense team, Alexander Cummings' lawyer. So
you mean Councillor Silla?
Yeah, Councillor Silla. It was delaying the case. So there was some agitation from the state lawyers and lawyer representing Joseph Boakai. So at another point in time, again, they had to cut the case for another 3-minute recess break, because they observed that there was still this repeated question, ask and answer question, and there were too many objections to the question coming from Councillor Silla. So,
and let me ask you, Pinas, before you continue, why were those objections made?
So it is normal in the legal practice that if a lawyer asks a question, the opposing party believe that that question is not a very good question, they can object to it and state the grounds of their objection. The lawyer now has the legal authority to either grant their grounds or dismiss their grounds and allow the witness to answer to the question. But what I saw in the court today, there were too many repeated questions, and that was really acknowledged by the judge. At certain point in time, the judge said, if the question finished, it finished. You don't have no more question, let's allow the witness, let me dispose of the witness so that the witness can go and we bring in another witness so that we can proceed with the case, because justice should be for all. It should be done speedily and not to delay. And there has been public outcry about the delay in the trial. The trial has gone more than 2 months now. We are in the 3rd month of the trial. And because of the political nature of those involved in the trial, there are people who are saying that the judge should speed up with the trial, bearing in mind, taking into consideration all of the legal formality of the case. But this case should be completed within this 3rd month, especially that we're already in the 3rd month.
Let me ask
suspended the trial today, subject to court. So we don't know whether tomorrow the former vice president will be here, because the judge in his suspension of the trial today said the trial will resume once he as a judge called the trial to.
Let me ask you this key question, and I'd like you to just provide your own perspective on this as an experienced judicial reporter. Yesterday you started following up on, Joe Boakai taking the witness stands. He started on yesterday and continued on today. But on yesterday, former Vice President Joe Boakai said to the court that he does not know Mr. Cummings, and it was through the CPB arrangement he got to know Mr. Cummings. Let me ask you, what does that mean for this proceeding? What does this signal from your own perspective?
So firstly, I would want to use your choice of word that it was gathered that he said he does not know Mr. Cummings. As a matter of fact, he tried to historicalize the whole process of the CPB arrangement, and he also talked about how he started knowing Cummings from as far back as the days in CPB. So I really don't know where that information came from, but I can confirm to you that he didn't say that he acknowledged knowing the opponent, and they have become close, and when the political arrangement with the CPP started, and thereabout they continue. And even in his testimony today, when they asked him as to whether he know that the CPP framework document that has become the crux of the case was altered, and he said yes, it was altered because the defense are asking whether he's aware or whether he can confirm that the document was altered, and he said yes, the document was altered. Then he was also asked another question as to during the signing of the CPP framework document that was done through Zoom because of the COVID-19 restriction. After the compilation of all of the signatures, because it was the political party, each political institution, political leader, and that of the chairperson of that party that was signing the document, and who then take the document in possession to be sent over to the validation committee, and that validation committee is an administrative committee. That was the person who took delivery of the document was Alexander B. Cummins, because at the time he was the chairman of the CPP. So that was some of the important issues to share within the case, and by and large, the case is on smoothly. The security situation is better off. Prior to the coming of Joseph Boakai for the past 2 days, it hasn't been a very good sign at the Temple of Justice. There were too many altercations, there were too many protestations, there were too many agitations, but I think the state has brought security apparatus now to man the ground. And at one point in time, Joseph Boakai was like furious. He called the Solicitor General and told the Solicitor General, I was watching and that look. After this trial today, I wouldn't think I would like to come back again. And I would let today be my final appearance so that they can ask me all of the questions, I can answer it. So I think they've been doing back and forth, back and forth. It is because of some of those statements that the judge decided to suspend the case for further notice. So we don't know when the trial will start, but there are too many witnesses aside from Joseph Boakai. Joseph Boakai came as a special witness that was opinioned by the court, meaning he was not the regular witness, he was not part of the case when the case initially started. He was not forwarded as witnesses to testify in this proceeding. What happened is that when the case went, and at the very important stage that the prosecution stated, they decided to subpoena certain people to believe and to provide information to prove their case, most especially from the state. So today we heard that the judge has suspended the case. We don't know when, but we can assure the public that there are too many witnesses to testify. If I may just quantify them, we have about 34 witnesses to testify.
Okay.
So it tells you the length of time we have to be here covering the case for the Liberian people and people who are outside nationals.
And let me also get your thought on this peanuts more before reaching where we are today regarding this whole case. There were some assertions made by Solicitor General Councilor Serena Cephas, and he said if Cummins is found guilty, he will be made to render some community services. Do you think it was prudent for him to have made such comment prior to where we are today? From your own experience as a judicial reporter, you think it was prudent?
So the very first thing is that he tried to use the word if. So if you look at the word if, it's a supposition. Now the law provides under the, like I said, the crime of which woman is being prosecuted and is misdemeanor under the law, it means that lesser offense. So the penalty thereof is either financial or reward. That is in the tune of around 500, 1,000 US or thereabout. And another penalty towards that is the one the Solicitor General talked about, the one that has to do with the issue of community service. So community service would mean that community will be made to come to the court every day, probably for the length of time that the court deems necessary. Maybe they say 1 month, you will be made to come to the court to sit, or you will go to the University of Liberia or any public high school to go and teach honestly. So that's why the Solicitor General keeps repeating what is provided for under the law. So whether it was prudent for him to sit down I believe that one, the fine is on the book, the penalties are on the law book, and it's not no one for saying that. So, like, for instance, if one commits murder, allegedly, and the person is before court, we know that on our jurisprudence, if someone commits murder and one found guilty by the court of competent jurisdiction, the penalty thereof is lifetime imprisonment or 25 years and above. So if someone say that, look, preempting that if the person is found guilty, I would rather than take lifetime imprisonment, it is provided for under the law. So his statement was put in, and I see no crime in saying that he could do community service.
Great. Pinas Mobile, let me ask you another question. From the way this trial is proceeding, I mean, you've been following from the onset, like I mentioned, up to today, you know, watching Joe Boakai on the witness stand again for the second day running. What are you reading? What could be your educated guess? Let me get your thought on this one.
So at this point in time, it is very difficult. It is very difficult to preempt. It is very difficult to preempt as to, sorry for the distraction, it is very difficult to preempt as to who will win the ever justice. This place is a court of law. It's not meant. This is a place on earth that is the last place of man's hope on earth, where if you are distressed, if you are dissatisfied with certain action or inaction, you can run to the court to seek legal redress. Benedict of the Hill has come to the court to seek legal redress under the law that he was dissatisfied with the manner and form in which their document, the CE document, was handled, and he believed that it was altered. So he has come to the court. Let's watch and see what the court comes up with. But what I can say is that at this stage, the case is very hard to preempt, and it is very hard to guess as to who will win or who will lose. What is important and what the Liberian people is interested in is that justice should be safe. The judiciary should live up to its true meaning of justice be done to all. And if you check the symbol of the judiciary, it has a lady that is blindfolded, meaning that justice is blind and justice should be speeded, because this trial is a landmark one and all eyes are pointing to it. And I will hope that the Ministry of Justice, the state, should exert all effort to ensure that this case is speedily trial so that they can turn their attention to other cases. There are a lot of cases aside from this one. We have, the issue about the security situation we face, where there are too many deaths, unexplained deaths. The issue of armed robbery, we got rape cases. Those are cases that the Ministry of Justice should focus attention to. So if you have them having all of their attention to this case and leaving important cases like murder, like rape, then it tells you that it is not a very good sign for our country. It's not a very good sign. So all we hope for as we cover the trial, that the trial should be speeded, and we should see justice being said in the not too distant future.
Thank you. Very kindly, let me hold you at that. Pinas Moba, an experienced judicial reporter. He's been around this facility for some good number of years now, reporting judicial issues. And of course, he's been sharing his thoughts with us on Focus on Liberia online television today. It's been a wonderful interaction. Let me thank you again for talking to us.
It's a pleasure, and I look forward to always talking to you people when the need arises.
Thank you, folks. You heard it. We're going to leave it at this point. Been here since 8 this morning, making sure to bring you all of the happenings. It's over. Day 2 of the cross-examination is all over. Like you heard from some of those we interviewed, there will be a pronouncement in the coming days. Who knows? We'll be back here again to continue with more coverage. And so, for and on behalf of the team, and from the grounds of the Temple of Justice in Monrovia, my name is Theo Williams. saying many thanks for being there. Thanks for watching. And please share the video as well as you watch so that others can have a glance of what is happening here today. We'll come again another day, another time. Until then, have a God bless day from Monrovia.